career in the sense it would be that I will be working as an HR executive. Afterwards, I will be promoted as an HR manager. Then I would be promoted as an HR of the department. So likewise, I will have a path and the activities related to one particular field. Next is the career path, flexible line of the movement through which an employee may move during the employment within an organization. So when a person is being provided with the flexible line of the movement through which an employee moves during the employment of the company. So when I am being employed in the company, I am working with the company, so I am being provided with a path that you will be moving on such and such thing. So I will be provided with the path and I will be moving upon it accordingly. Then career development, formal approach used by the organization to help the people acquire their skills and experiences needed to perform their current and future job. So career development would be a formal approach. So where I want to be, what I want to achieve, how I will be working for it. So that would come into your career development. Right? What skills are required? Suppose I'm working as I'm working into an organization as an HR, so I require the skills of HR. I require the experience of HR. I would have done some degree in HR only. So that would be the career development. So when I am into my organization, so organization will provide me with the different development paths. So I will be working upon those development parts accordingly. Now next is job security and career security. Job security is the protection against the job loss within the company. So I want to protect my job. So that is job security. मेरी job ना चली जाए कहीं पे. I need to perform well. So that is job security. Career security is development of the marketable skills and experience that help to ensure the employment within the range of the career. So that is career security. मेरा career secure है. Fine. So how what I will be performing in front of the people, so that would all will be my skills and my expertise. So मेरे skills के ऊपर ही, मेरे experience के ऊपर ही, मेरे expertise के accordingly ही I will be getting my job. So that would be related to the career security. Now what are the factors that are affecting the career planning? First is the career imparted life stages and career anchors. Now these are the two things which are affecting the career planning. Now first is the career impacted life stages. Now that is growth, exploration, establishment, maintenance and decline. This we have already done in the last lecture. That is career life cycle, right? That we have already done in the career life cycle. So growth. After your school, after your college, you start up searching for your job. So that would be in your growth part. Then exploration, you get a job, then you get yourself established over there, then you start getting the promotion, then you move forward to the other jobs, and afterwards there is a decline that you get yourself retired from that job. So that is decline part. Next is the career anchor. The another factor which affects the career planning is the career anchor. So managerial competency. First is the managerial competency, technical and financial competency. Managerial competency means whether a person is able to manage the things accordingly. Managerial skills are there or not. Technical and functional competency. I have technical knowledge. Technical knowledge doesn't mean working on the machine or on the automatic process. Technical competency means, are you technically competent? Are you clear with the subject? You have the thorough things about it or not? So that is all. And are you able to work upon that functional area? Then is the security. Whether my job is secure, whether my career is secure, that all will come into your security part. Then is creativity. What new I can do? What innovative things I can do? What new innovation, what new inventions, innovations, creative skills I can use to do a particular job. Then autonomy and independence. I have an autonomy, means I myself can control up the things. Independent are the things independent from each and other. Am I able to take my decision on my own? So that thing would come into your independence part. Technological competent, whether I am able to work upon the latest software, latest machinery, automatic machinery. So that comes into your or technological competency. So every person who is fixed and who is particular about all these things, they would be known as the career anchors. Who are specialized upon all these things, they would be known as the career anchors. Now next is the career planning. Individual career planning and self-assessment, career assessment on the web, organizational career planning objectives. So individual career planning and self-assessment, learning about well self. So self-assessment means मुझे अपने बारे में कितना पता है. So I need to learn about myself. I need to learn about my positives and negatives, my weaknesses, my strengths. Then strength and weaknesses balance sheet means I must be aware of all about my strengths and weaknesses, for what I am good in and for what I am bad in. Then likes and dislikes survey. What I like, what others like about me, what others dislike about me, what I can improve. So that would be into your like and dislike survey. Strength and weakness balance sheet, a self-evaluation procedure developed by Franklin that assists the people in becoming aware of their strengths and weaknesses. So that is known as the SWOT analysis, right? So you must be aware of, I will do my own self-evaluation in which on one side I will write down what are my strengths and on the another side I will write down what are my weaknesses. Draw a line down in the middle of the sheet of the paper, and one side you will write down the strength and the weaknesses. Then label the left side as the strength and the right side as the weaknesses, which I have already told you. Typically, the person's weakness will outnumber the strength in the first few iterates. So in the first few lines only the weaknesses, the major weaknesses would come in the starting part only. So ultimately, some weaknesses will be recognized as the strengths also, and some weaknesses which are written over there, they will be known as the strength also. Might be there are some points you have written over there which may not be your weaknesses, but in the another way it may be your strengths. So that you need to identify those accordingly. Next is your likes and dislikes survey. Assess the individual in recognizing the restrictions they place on themselves. All factors that could affect an individual work performance are listed over here. So individual work performance will be listed over here. Then career assessment of the web. Numerous tests. Then numerous test and assessment sites available on the web. Information on the web about the organization that best suits each individual. So that would be over there. Now career organization, career planning. Any doubt till now?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so next are the organizational career planning. Now, how we are going for the organizational career planning? Begin with the placement into the entry level job at the orientation. Now, you have completed up with your college. Now you will be entering to your job. So that entering to your job or beginning with your placement is known as the entry level job. When you will enter into your job, you will be made aware with all the things which are over there, with all the departments, with the organization goals and visions, with the organization's visions and missions, goals, strategies, all those things where you will be sitting. So for this all you will be made aware of. So that will be known as entry level job at the orientation. So you will be oriented with all the things which are related to your job. So that would be known as your organizational career plan. Next is your ongoing process. So this will be your ongoing process automatically. First, it was your orientation, then you will be provided up with your training part, then you will be provided up with your development part. So that all these things would be going into your ongoing process. Nothing would be stopped anymore. As your job will be moving, you will be moving with all these things. Then must closely parallel individual career plan. So along with your job, along with your working, you will be having the parallel individual career planning over there. So career planning means, okay, I have entered in as a job as an HR executive. So within next 2 years, I will be moving as an HR manager. then HR assistant, then HR manager, then I would be moving as an HR of the organization. So that will be my career planning. I will be moving in such a such way, and I want to reach this designation. So that will be your career planning at that time. Now, what are the objectives? Why we set the career planning? So various objectives are over there. So first is the effective development of available talent. So I need to develop my talent which are available with me. Next, self-appraisal opportunities for employees, career path development cutting across the division and geographical locations. So that all will be under the various geographical regions and various divisions over there. Next is your demonstration commitment to EEO and the affirmative action. So there should be a demonstration committee. There should be a demonstrated commitment to the EEO, means you will be demonstrating the things and that will be related to your organization. That will be related to your organization, fine, and you will be clearing with the actions, what all the actions are over there. Next, career planning objectives. Satisfy the employee's specific development need. So what are the development needs that you need to satisfy? My development needs are, I want to become a manager, I want to become an CEO, I want to become as what as the HR of the organization. So all those things would be my specific development need. Then improve the performance. I want to improve my performance time and again. I am unable to perform accordingly, so my performance should get improved. Then increase the employee loyalty and the motivation. So employee loyalty means I am loyal to my organization. मैं अपने organization के तरफ पूरा सच्चा रहूंगा. I will work for the betterment of the organization. I will work for the profit earning of the organization. I will move with my organization only. I'm not going to leave my organization. So that is employee loyalty and motivation. So if the employees are loyal, they must be motivated time and again. Fine. Monetary motivations are there, verbal motivations are there. Yes, you are doing good, you can perform more better. The organization is gaining the profit out of you just because of your efforts. So likewise, these kind of motivation will help an employer to move in a better way. Then next is the determining the training and development needs. Yes, whenever they require training, the training should be given, the development should be provided, organizational development policy should be offered over there. So that would all come into your planning and training and development. And next is career path. What are the career path? Traditional career paths were there. Factors leading to the decline of the traditional career path: network career path, lateral skill path, dual career path, adding value to your career, and demonstrations. So traditional career path was employ progressive vertically towards the organization. Vertically move कर रहे थे, सीधा 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 move कर रहे थे. Straight forward means from bottom to top they were moving. Becoming somewhat rare. Now it is becoming rare. Factor leading to the decline of the traditional path. बच्चे traditional career path clear हो गया. When we are moving from down to up, stairs से हम down से ऊपर जा रहे हैं, so that will be the traditional career path. So we were moving in the traditional way upwards. Clear? Now, factor leading to the decline of the traditional career path is why there is a decline in the career path. Because massive reduction in the management ranking. Now, management ranking is there. Now, management ranking may be due to the merger, downsizing, stagnation, growth cycle, or re-engineering. Now, might be मर्जर हो गया, जैसे अब बैंक्स का मर्जर हुआ है, फाइन। डाउन सीजिंग, हम ना ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, अब लॉकडाउन चल रहा है या कोविड के कारण बहुत सारी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस ने अपने एम्प्लॉयज को रिड्यूस कर दिया, फाइन। नाउ स्टैग्नेशन इज देयर, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन प्रॉफिट गेन ही नहीं कर पा रही, तो सैलरीज कहाँ से देगी? So there is a stagnation over there. Growth cycle is not there. So because of these things, the traditional path was not going in a proper way. मैं अभी एचआर एग्जीक्यूटिव भी हूँ, तो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का मर्जर हो गया, बहुत सारे एम्प्लॉयज और आ गए, सीनियोरिटी पे ऊपर चले गए हैं, तो मैं एचआर एग्जीक्यूटिव से मैनेजर कब बनूंगी? फाइन, सो इट विल टेक टाइम, so that's why traditional career path was not possible. Then extension of the paternalism and the job security. So there was not a proper job security provided over there. Erosion of the employee loyalty. When these factors were happening, so people were not loyal to their organization. Then environment where the new skills must be learned constantly. So the environment was not provided where the proper kind of training could have been given. Next is your network career path, both vertical job sequence and horizontal opportunities. वर्टिकलर तो हो गया, तो नीचे से ऊपर जा रहे हो। हॉरिजॉन्टल कौन सा हो गया? लेफ्ट टू राइट एंड राइट टू लेफ्ट. So there will be both the possibilities from vertical also and for horizontal opportunities also. Recognizing the experience interchangeably at certain level and more the experience at one level needed before the promotion to the next level. So there must be some experience that has been taken at the first level, and then the person will move to the another level. So it will be moving as a ladder, as it is shown over there. So it will be moving as a ladder. First promotion is there, then he will be working over there at that organization. Again, promotion will be here, working at a horizontal level, again vertical level, then horizontal level. So in such a way, the network career path would work upon. Clear till now? Any doubt? But any doubt till now?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So next is vertical and horizontal options lessen the probability of blockage in one job. So there won't be a blockage. Blockage means वही का वही person नहीं रह जाएगा. The person will be able to move forward. The person will not be stuck over there at the one job only. More difficult to explain to the employees. So it will be difficult to explain to the employees, but in practical way, it will be working in a very good manner, right? Next path is lateral skill path. Lateral moves within the organizational. Employees become revitalized and find new challenges. No pay, no promotion involved. Opportunity to develop new skills. Employee rewards by increased job challenges. Now, in this lateral skill path, everyone will be working at every path. Everyone will be working at every job in the organization. So the company, they will be able to involve themselves. They will be able to move themselves at the different levels. So when money is not involved, so no promotion is there, no money is there. So people would be working in a proper way over there. Technically specialist contributes expertise without becoming managers. Now this is dual career path, increasingly popular, used in the higher education. Technically specialists contribute expertise without becoming managers. Now, if I will be gaining the experience as per, suppose I have done two post graduation, one is MTech, another is MBA. So I have a dual career path. I can move in my MTech also, I can move for my MBA also. So I will be having a dual opportunity to move in any of the path related to. So I will be expertise without having my managerial skills over there. So I will be expertised accordingly. Adding value to your career. So the workers view themselves as an independent contractor who must constantly improve their skills. So adding value to your, I will be I will be an independent contractor. I will be working as a contractor over there, or I will be working as a technical competent over there who will be having my own skills. So if I will be having my skills, then only I will be working independently. Otherwise, I would have required the guidance of the another people. So workers are managing own career. So I am managing my own career. Only tie that binds the workers and company is commitment to the mutual success and growth. So if I'm working for the organization, I am loyal over there. So my own mutual success and growth will help in the movement for the same. Next is demotion. A more realistic option today. Some workers have no desire to change as the technology change, might open up the clogged promotional path. Senior employees can escape unwanted stress without being a failure. So demotion is when they are moved from the upper part to the lower part. वो perform नहीं कर पा रहे, might be due to the technological changes they are unable to perform. Fine. So because of these XYZ reasons, there may be a demotion. तो उनको उनकी upper position से नीचे वाली position पे लगा दिया जाता है. So that would come into your demotion part. So clear with the career planning. Next is your career development. Formal organizational approach to ensure that the people with the proper qualification and experience are available when needed. So career development is an organization is only and only successful when they know that they have the people over there with their proper qualification and experience, and they will work as well whenever they are required to provide accordingly. Then benefit the organization and employee includes exposure to activities that prepare the person for staffing needs of the firm now and in the future. So there would be an opportunity why they are being provided with the development part today, because they will become as an asset in the coming future. They will help the organization to work properly, and even when they are being having the development part, they are being provided with the development and the training part, so they will be satisfied and they will be working for the better of the organization in the coming future. Career planning and development methods, discussion with the knowledgeable individuals, company materials, performance appraisal system, workshops, personal development plan, software packages, career planning websites. So these all are the development methods. Use of internet for the career planning and the development at the Texas Instrument. Now this is a case study they have taken for the Texas. So kindly read this. What type of career planning they are following in the Texas company. now generation, developing the generation X employees, और वहाँ पे उन्होंने कहा था ना कि we are developing the employees that are X generation, then new factories workers generation Y as the future and generation I as the future employees. So what they will be doing, X employees, what they will be doing, labeling for 40 million American workers born between this and this, जो यहाँ 1965 से 1976 में born किए, so they will be labeled as the X employees. So accordingly, they will be taking the steps for them. Developing the new factory workers. So life of the factory line requires more brain than the brawn, so they will be using their more brains working on ongoing back to the school, so they will be more company loyal, strong back, showing up the time, no longer guarantee decline paycheck or the job security. So that would be for the new factory workers. Now generation Y, for the future employees, the children of the baby boomers born between 1979. So they will be known as the Y, 1979 to 1994. The next generation, they would be called as the Y generation. Then I generation, which will be coming in the future. They have the one which are being born after 1994. So that will be known as the generation I. So first generation is grown up with the internet. So this will be a generation which will be grown up with the internet. Like you people are more savvy to the internet as compared to your parents. Fine. So they don't use so much of internet as you people are using. So that would be generation I employees. So this would all be into your career planning and development. So any doubt anywhere? Okay, so I will be starting with the next topic. Just a minute. So I will be sharing with you the new slides. Hanji, is the slide visible? Now we are going to start up with the unit 4. Fine, unit 3 is already completed. We will be starting up with the unit 4 and your first topic is performance appraisal. Are the slides visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, what is performance appraisal basically? Performance appraisal is when we are going to appraise an employee, its potential, what a person is doing, how he or she is performing, and how he or she can perform better in his job. That is all known as performance appraisal. Now, performance appraisal is a process of assessing the performance and progress of an employee on a given job and his potential for the future development. What he is performing now, how he is performing now, and how better he can perform in the coming future, that is known as the performance appraisal. Clear with this? Performance appraisal is a systematic evaluation of the individual. It is systematically evaluated इंडिविजुअल विद द रिस्पेक्ट ऑफ हिज और हर परफॉर्मेंस इन द जॉब, वो जॉब में कैसे परफॉर्म कर रहा है उसको हम इवेलुएट करेंगे एंड उसका पोटेंशियल और कैसे डेवलप कर सकते हैं, मींस और बेटर वो अपनी जॉब को कैसे परफॉर्म कर सकता है, दैट इज नोन एज परफॉर्मेंस अप्रेजल. सो क्लियर विद द कंसेप्ट ऑफ परफॉर्मेंस अप्रेजल, how a person is performing in their job at present and how his performance can be more enhanced, उसकी परफॉर्मेंस को और अच्छे तरीके से इम्प्रूव कैसे किया जा सकता है, डेवलप कैसे किया जा सकता है, दैट इज नोन एज परफॉर्मेंस अप्रेजल. इज द पॉइंट क्लियर?
Yes, ma'am.
Now this is the procedure of conducting the performance appraisal. Now setting the performance standard, we will set the performance standard, then communicating the standards, we will inform that these standards are being set and these will be informed to the employees that you will be evaluated on such and such standards. Then measuring the standards, we will measure them. Then comparing the standards, we will compare the performance with the set standards. Then discussing the results and taking the corrective standards. We will discuss the result, what the results are and what will be happening in the corrective standards. Corrective standard means कहाँ पे और improvement की ज़रूरत है. So that would be taking into the corrective standards. Now first is establishing the performance standard. We will establish the standards for the same. The performance appraisal process beginning up with the setting up of the standards for the appraising the performance of the employees. There should be some base on which one must say that the performance is good, average or bad. So that is the setting up of the performance standard, establishing the performance standard. So performance appraisal begins up with the setting up of the standard for the same. So they must be based on which one must be the good one and which one is the bad one. Fine. So they would be checked accordingly. Then communicating the standards set for the performance should be communicated to the employees and explained to them so that they can come to know what is expected from them. Fine. So what is expected from them in the coming future. So what standards are set upon which they will be being measured. So that would be communicating the standards. उनको बता दिया जाएगा कि you people will be evaluated upon these standards. Next, measurement of the actual performance. This requires choosing the right technique for the measurement, identifying the internal and the external factor influence performance, and collecting the information on the results achieved. So they will be measuring the actual performance, how actually a person is performing, how actually a person is doing a job. So that would be actual performance. Comparing the actual with the standards. Comparing the actual with the standard means actual performance is compared with the predetermined standard of the performance. So जो पर्सन की एक्चुअल परफॉर्मेंस है उसको मेजर करेंगे जो हमने सेट स्टैंडर्ड्स किए थे, उस अकॉर्डिंगली मेजर करके फिर हम देखेंगे कि कहाँ पे वो ड्रॉबैक, कहाँ पे उसकी वीकनेस है एंड कहाँ पे ही इज परफॉर्मिंग गुड. सो दैट वुड बी ओवर द परफॉर्मिंग द एक्चुअल विद द स्टैंडर्ड पार्ट. Now discussing the appraisal. The appraisal results are communicated and discussed with the employees along with the deviation and the reason behind them are also analyzed and discussed. So the deviations are being analyzed and discussed. They will be discussing that where the problem is and how the problem can be identified and solved upon it. So problem will be where when there will be a difference between the actual part and the standard part. Taking the corrective actions, training, coaching, counseling, advising, refresher course, delegation of the authority, etc. are the example of the corrective action and that helps to improve the employee performance in the future. So these when a person is not performing accordingly or some improvement is required, when an improvement is required, what we will be doing, we will be provided that person with the training part, with the coaching part, counseling part, advising him. We will be providing them with the refresher course, delegation of the authority would be there so that the corrective actions would be taken and the person's performance can be improved upon. Hanji, any doubt in the process of performance appraisal? This is an important question, important topic, performance appraisal. Any doubt?
मैम एक बार दोबारा से फर्स्ट वाले से स्लाइड दिखा दो, खुद से पर रीड करना चाहते हैं.
Okay, you want to read? You can. Just a minute. So this is the first one, establishing the performance. Kindly read.
नेक्स्ट स्लाइड मैम. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड मैम. मैम फिफ्थ पॉइंट, डिस्कसिंग द अप्रेजल.
Discussing the appraisal means the employee will be performed that where you are being lacking behind and where you are not able to perform properly. Fine. So appraisal results are communicated and discussed with the employees. So appraisal results means when the standards will be set with their actual performance. Actual performance के साथ standards को set measure किया जाएगा, compare किया जाएगा. If there is some drawback or if there is some deviation, means some difference is there, then they will be informed to a person. Fine. So then it will be informed to an employee and that will be discussed over there that yes, at this part you are lacking behind. You are not able to perform at this part.
मैम बट इससे डिमोटिवेटेड नहीं हो जाएंगे एम्प्लॉइज?
No, they won't be demotivated. They will afterwards, because they are not able to perform, so they will be informed that yes, you are not being performing over there. To improve that performance, so the corrective actions would be taken. Now what kind of corrective actions would be? That would be at the sixth part. They will be provided up with the training part, coaching part, counseling, advising, refresher course, whatever is being required as per the performance, that will be provided to that person so that his performance may improve in the coming future.
ओके मैम.
Any doubt? Anyone, any doubt? Okay, so we will be moving further now. Methods of the performance appraisal. So there are the traditional method, that is the confidential report, essay method, starting the ranking method, paired comparison method, force distribution method, graphical rating scale, checklist method, critical incidence method, group appraisal method and field review method. So all these are the methods which are the traditional methods which are used for the performance appraisal. Now first is the confidential report. So confidential report is a report prepared by the employee's immediate supervisor. It covers the strengths and weaknesses, the main achievement and the failure, personality and the behavior of the employees. So जो आपका immediate boss होगा वो आपके लिए confidential report लिखेगा जिसमें he will be mentioning each and everything. What each and everything means, what were your weaknesses, what were your main achievement, how you can perform better, what all is good in your behavior and what all is being required to immediately improve. That all will come into your confidential report. Fine. So that is your confidential report kind of thing. Next is your essay method. Essay method is, under this method the evaluator write a short essay on the basis of the overall impression. So evaluator means the employee's performance. Evaluator means a person who will be given the responsibility to check the performance of an employee. So that will be an evaluator. So what he will be writing, he will be writing the overall basis for the overall improvement and the impression given by that person. So that will be written in an essay form. उसमें वो सारे का सारा mention कर देगा his performance, what is good, what is bad, what is the weaknesses, what are the strengths, what need to be improved, what all need not to be improved. So all those things will be written over there. Then straight ranking method, person will be ranked as per their work. So first ranking, second ranking means 5-star, 3 stars, 2-star, 1-star. So all those things would be given over there. So that will be based upon that rank. Now pair comparison method is, employees compared with all other peers, the number of time an employee's judgment is better than the other, it is determined with his rank. So A is compared with B, A is compared with C, A is compared with D. Wherever the performance is better, that will be his rank. He will be first, he will be second, he will be third. So a person is being compared with every other employee over there. So that is the paired comparison method. And clear with these methods till now? Then we will move further to the another method. Okay, next is the forced choice method. Forced, in this technique, the rater is required to distribute his rating. The purpose is to eliminate the rater base of the central tendency. So they will be rating over there. Forced choice method. Forced choice method is, a person is being required for his distribution to the rating purpose. So purpose will be eliminated, rather the basis for the central tendency. So everyone will be rated. So suppose there are 5 people. Out of 5, the A person will be rated as 1, another will be rated as 2, another will be rated as 3, 4, 5. Like this, that will be a forced choice method. Forcedly हमें उनको rating करनी ही पड़ेगी. Then is the graphic rating scale. It is a numerical scale indicating the different degree of the particular traits. The rater is given a print form of the employees to be rated. The form contain the several characteristics related to the personality and the performance of an employee. So एक पेज दे दिया जाएगा, उस पेज के ऊपर the particular traits would be written. There would be many traits which will be written over there, many points which will be written over there, and upon those points a person will be rated. Suppose on one side there will be written 10 points, on the other side 5 names will be given. So each person should be rated for accordingly to that particular point. So that is known as the graphical rating scale. So person will be rated for their performance and for their personality over there. So this is the rating scale over there. Poor, fairly good, good, excellent. So where that person is being standing as per those parameters. So clear with the graphical rating scale?
Yes, ma'am.
Next is the checklist method. A checklist method is a list of the statements that describe the characteristics and the performance of the employees on the job. जो लोग जॉब पे हैं उनके characteristics और performance को ये measure करती है. The rater check to indicate if the behavior of an employee is positive or negative. So that will be help in checking the employee's behavior, that whether the behavior was positive or negative. So that is the checklist method. You can read the points for the same. Next, critical incident method. In this method, the supervisor keeps a written record of the critical events and how the different employees behave during these events. So some important events would have happened, and how the person has behaved in those particular events or in those particular circumstances. That all will come into your critical incidents method. तो वो particular एक जो behavior होगा वो note down हो जाएगा, and उस behavior के accordingly वो person को रेट कर दिया जाएगा. Group appraisal method. In this, the group of the evaluator assess the employees. There will be 4 to 5 people in a group, and they will be evaluating one employee. Each employee time, one employee at one time they will be evaluating, and they will be as per the set standard, they will be measuring his or her performance, and that will be appraised for the same. So that would be into your performance appraisal method. Next is your field review method. Field review method, that a person will be interviewed in the field. So the department people, they will be interviewing the person. They will be the supervisor, they will be interviewing a person or the subordinate, respective subordinate. They will be asked few questions, and the person would be answering to that questions, and accordingly his strength and weaknesses will be measured, and the person will be provided up with his level of performance, that how he was able to perform and how he is being working in the organization basically. So that all those things would come into your performance appraisal method. That is the field review. So in the field review method, a training officer from the HR department interview the supervisor to evaluate the respective subordinate. By answering these questions, the supervisor give his opinion upon the level of the performance his subordinate and the subordinate work process, his strengths and weaknesses, promotional potentials, etc. So supervisor would tell about his employee that how he or she is able to perform. So clear with the field review method? Any doubt till now? So these were all what we have done that were known as the traditional method. Now next are the modern methods. So first is the assessment center, human resource accounting methods, behavioral anchor rating scale, that is BARS, BARS, that is very common. Another is MBO, that is management by objective, 360-degree appraisal. So that will be in all the levels of the appraisal. So next is the assessment center. Assessment center is a technique for evaluating, selecting, developing and training of the personnel in an organization. So एक person को evaluate करना, उसकी selection करना, उसको training provide करना, development provide करना, उसको देखना कि how he is able to perform in the organization, that all would come into your assessment center. So a person is being assessed from every aspect of the organization. So that is assessment center. Next are the objectives of the assessment center. Now, why we are doing the assessment center part? Kindly read the objective. So to measure for the first level supervision, upper management position, and also the higher level management position. So all those things the person would be assessed upon to determine the training and development needs of an employee, to provide more accurate human resource planning process or the planning information, and to assist in implementing the goals. So all those things would come into your assessment center objectives. Now next is the process, how it will be working upon. Assessment center process would be establishing the objective of the program, conducting the detailed job analysis. We will be conducting the detailed job analysis out of it. Then defining the dimensions of the assessed. Dimensions means we will set the standards. Designing the physical facilities, selecting the exercises, training of the assessor, conducting of the program, evaluating the participants, and feedback and follow-up action. That all would come into your assessment part. Now, what are the advantages of assessment center? A well-conducted assessment center can achieve a better forecasting for the future performance and the program. So that would be for the better processes of the working kind of thing. So then next is the reliability and contact validity are higher in the assessment center. So reliability means we can rely upon it as much as we can. So we cannot say that it is a false one, it is a wrong one. It is the best part, which is it. It makes use of the wrong people are not hired and for the promotion. So wrong people are not being hired for the promotion over there. It will be working in the best part. Then the assessment center test clearly define the criteria for the selection and the promotion part. So these things would be very much clear over there for the promotion part and for the selection part. Now, what is the limitations for this? Limitation is that it is very expensive. Then influences subjective element. It will be all subjective because it will be written over there. Performance will be checked. Whatever is being written accordingly. Then reaction negative. It will be lead to the more negative reaction. Then other problems may be finance, maybe duration of the time. All those things would come into the another problem. Next is the human resource accounting method. Under this method, the performance is being judged in the terms of the cost and the contribution of the employees. The cost consists of the expenditure on the human resource planning, recruitment, selection, induction, training, compensation, etc. The contribution of the training in the money value is the money value of the labor productivity. Difference between the cost and the contribution will be reflected in the performance of the employees. So that is known as the human accounting method, human resource accounting method. Human resource accounting method means from the selection of a person, means the human resource planning will be there. कितने लोग चाहिए जॉब के लिए, उन सब की रिक्रूटमेंट होगी, उन सब की सिलेक्शन होगी, उनको इंडक्शन दी जाएगी, उनको ओरिएंटेशन प्रोवाइड की जाएगी, फिर उसके बाद ट्रेनिंग होगी, उनको कंपनसेशन पे की जाएगी, उनको वैल्यू दिया जाएगा, उनको पैसा दिया जाएगा. सो ऑल दोस थिंग्स वुड कम इनटू योर ह्यूमन रिसोर्स अकाउंटिंग मेथड. Then is your bars, that is the behaviorally anchored rating scale, that is bars. In this rating scale, whose scale point are determined by the statement of the effective and ineffective behavior. Whose behavior was effective and whose behavior was ineffective. They are said to be behaviorally anchored in that the scale represent a range of the descriptive statement of the behaviors varying from the least to the most effective. So उसमें सारे के सारे behavior लिख दिए जाएंगे. All these statements will be written over there and it will be evaluated that which one is the effective one, most effective one, and which one was the least effective one. That is the ineffective part. So they are known as the behaviorally anchored scale representing the range of the descriptive statements. So clear with this?
Yes, ma'am.
So that is, these are the next, on this slide you can see that what kind of scales that are being mentioned over there in the behavioral be rating scale. So you can read it out: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they will be rated as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One would be unsatisfactory, then satisfactory, and then the non and the outstanding part. So kindly read these points. Next is MBO. It was developed by Peter Drucker in 1954. MBO was being defined as a process whereby the superior and the subordinate managers of the organization jointly identify its common goals, define each individual major area of responsibility in terms of results expected of him, and use these measures for guiding for the operating the units and assessing the contributions of each of its members. Fine. So steps in performance appraisal would be setting up of the organizational goals. Second would be setting up of the organizational goals. Then setting would be defining the performance target, defining the performance target, actual performance target achieved, and then communicating the feedback to that person. So that would all would come into your MBO. So MBO is basically, it is a joint effort of the subordinate managers and the superior. They will be setting common goals. Organization common goals would be set accordingly, and they would be working for the same. So that is into your management by objective. Then is this 360-degree appraisal interview. 360-degree appraisal interview means it will be evaluating the individuals. It will be evaluating on the 360 aspect, every from each and every corner that person will be evaluated. It will be from the superior also. Individual staff is there, so its self assessment is going to happen. So who is going to do its self assessment? Basically checked upon supervisor, other supervisor, customers would be there, team would be there, subordinates would be there, other teams would be there, peers, the people who are working with them, and the other superiors. So all those people, they will be continuously evaluating them on the different basis. So that would be your 360-degree appraisal. So 360-degree involves system involves evaluation by everyone. Everyone is going to evaluate that person above, alongside and below him. जो उसके ऊपर है, all his superiors, all the people who are working along with him, and all the people who are working below him, they all will be evaluating that person. Structured questionnaire are used to collect the responses about a manager from his boss, peers, and subordinates. So everyone will be asked the questionnaire, they will be provided up with the questionnaire and they will be informing for the same. So that will lead to the 360-degree appraisal part. Advantages: individual get a broad perspective as to how they are prescribed by the another. The feedback provided a more rounded view of their performance, enhance the awareness, relevance of the competency, awareness from the senior managers too, as they will get it know their need for the development, and feedback of the prescribed more valid and the objective as its collection from the various sources. So they will be evaluated by every part and it would involve into the detailed evaluation of that person. Frank and honest opinion may not be received because there may be some, discrepancies over there. Stress might put an individual for giving the feedback. Someone would be put into the stress that yes, you have to provide with the positive feedback only. So that kind of feedback would be stressed feedback. Next, lack of the action following the feedback. Lack of action would be there. Then next would be linking rewards to finders can prove to be unfair. So that would be linking the rewards with finding the proof that would be unfair. We cannot say that this have been always being a positive impact or positive feedback every time so that the rewards can be given. Then steps involved in 360-degree appraisal are top management communicate the goals of and need for the 360-degree appraisal. Employees and the managers are involved in the development of the appraisal criteria and performance appraisal. Everyone would be involved over there. Then next would be employees are trained in how to give and review the feedback, receive the feedback. Next would be 360 employees are informed about the nature of the 360-degree appraisal instrument and process. 360-degree system undergoes the pilot testing in one part of the organization, and the management continuously reinforce the goal of 360-degree and is ready to change the process when necessary. So whenever it is required, the changes may be made into it. It will be the pilot testing of the organization. Pilot testing means it will be a detailed testing. Everything would be involved into it. Now, what are the components of 360-degree appraisal? Self-appraisal, superior appraisal, subordinate appraisal, peer appraisal, and client appraisal. So these all five people, they are going to give the review for an employee. They are going to give the feedback for an employee. So that would come into your 360-degree appraisal part. So what is self-appraisal? Employee gives his own feedback. That is self-appraisal, my own strength areas. Superior, when you're superior, when your boss is going to give the feedback to you, that will be the superior. Subordinate, when the people who are working below you, they will be providing up with the feedback, that is the subordinate appraisal. Peer appraisal, जो आपके साथ काम कर रहे हैं, all those people who are working at your level and they are working with you, that would be into your peer appraisal kind of part. And last is the team appraisal, when whole of the team, superior, subordinate, everyone is over there and they will be providing up with the appraisal part with the help of the TQM, that is total quality management concept, that recognize the accomplishment rather the individual performance was good or not. So everyone would be there in the team. Now next are the problems which are over there. Any doubt till now, bache? Now, popularity con performance appraisal problems would come into the different parts. So these points are: first would be popularity contest, then punitive implication, control, real equations, then stereotyping and poor training of the raters. These I will send you from the book, which I don't consider these part as the main part. This I will click the photograph from the book and then I will send you what were the problems in the performance appraisal. Now this is a look, you can give a look to the graphical rating scale. So this is the bar part. Behavior anchor rating scale. So behavior anchor rating scale would consist of all these points that we will be giving the rating from 1 to 7. So that would be the low, average and the high part. So this is a case study related to the one organization. You can read all these points which is related to one. That is one kind of example which is related to the bar part. Bar behavior anchor rating scale. So kindly give a reading to this. Next would be your graphical rating scale. So these are the examples of the graphical rating scale. Now this is the goal setting worksheet in which the responsibilities, goals would be defined for a person. What are his major goals and responsibilities? What he is performing, that the evaluation would be given to those performances over there. So that would be the performance over there. Now mixed standard scales are there. Then management by objective. So philosophy of the management that rates the performance on the basis of the employees' achievement of the goals set by the mutual agreement of the employees and the manager, that is the management by objective. So this we have already done. I will send you these advantages and disadvantages to you. So with this, we have completed up with the performance appraisal. Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so let's start with the poll part now. Just a minute, I will launch the polls. So first poll is in front of you. हाँ जी बच्चे, हरी अप, स्टार्ट आंसरिंग योर पोल्स. हरी अप बच्चे, आंसर एवरीवन. Okay, I'm going to stop the poll now. So, DASH is an objective assessment of an individual's performance against well-defined benchmark. So, your answer is the A option is the correct option, that is the performance appraisal, and 7% have given the right answer and rest the wrong answer. Now, the next poll. I'm going to launch the next poll now. What is linked with performance appraisal? Okay, I'm going to end the poll now. What is linked with the performance appraisal? So job analysis, that is the C answer is the correct answer, and six of you have given the right answer and rest the wrong answer. Next poll. Hurry up, बच्चे. Okay, I'm going to end the poll now. Which of the following is an alternative term used in the performance appraisal? That is the employee assessment. C option is the correct option, and six of you have given the right answer and rest wrong answer. Next poll. Anji, hurry up. Okay, I'm going to end the poll now. Which of these is the main purpose of the employee assessment? To affect the promotion based on the competency and the performance. So B option is the correct option. Seven of you have given the right answer and rest the wrong answer. Next poll. Okay, I'm going to end the poll now. How the performance appraisal can contribute to a firm's competitive advantage. So all are the correct options. That is, ensure legal compliance, minimizing the job dissatisfaction and turnover, and improve the performance. So all of the above are the correct options, and 7 of you have given the right answer and rest wrong answer. Next poll. Hurry up, बच्चे. Okay, I'm going to end the poll now. A successful defender used the performance appraisal for identifying the training needs. So 6 of you have given the right answer. C is the correct answer. 6 of you have given the right answer and rest the wrong answer. Next. From the strategic point of view, in which 3 categories can an organization be grouped? Okay, I'm going to end the poll now. From the strategic point of view, in which three categories can the organization be grouped? Defender, prospectors, analyzer, all of the above. So last option, all of the above is the right option, and 6 of you have given the right answer. Next poll. What do successful analyzer tends to examine? Hurry up, बच्चे. Hurry up, 2 of you are left. Hurry up, give the answer. Okay, I'm going to end the poll now. What do the successful analysts tend to examine? That is the current performance with the past performance. That is being examined over there. The current performance with the past performance. Next poll. Hurry up, बच्चे, hurry up, give the answers. Okay, I'm going to end the poll now. Which of the following terms refers to the process of evaluating an employee's current and or past performance relative to his or his performance standards? So that is known as the performance appraisal. So C option is the correct option. 6 of you have given the right answer and rest wrong answer. Next poll, last poll. Supervisor should provide the employees with the feedback, development, and incentives necessary to help the employees eliminate performance deficiencies or to continue to the performance well. So is it true or false? Okay, I'm going to end the poll now. So this statement is true statement. So every one of you given the right answer and one have given the wrong answer. Next poll. Okay, I'm going to end the poll now. Which of the following is not one of the recommended guidelines for setting the effective employee goals? That is, administrating the consequences for the failure to meet. So last option is the correct option. 6 of you have given the right answer and rest a wrong answer. So that's all for today. Any doubt to anyone? Okay, so that's all for today. I'm going to end the meeting now. Fine. Okay, thank you, bache.